Finding old railway spikes on an old rail grade is actually pretty easy once you start looking for them. My husband and I bought some acreage on the lake about 8 years ago and put an off-grid cabin on that property. That property backs up onto an old rail grade, and so over the years I've been collecting dozens and dozens of old railway spikes without any real cool idea of a way to use them. We'd also been collecting other things that you might find along an old rail grade, such as like the telephone poles, glass insulators, and odds and sods. We also found a mining shaft on that land from the turn of the century and thought, wouldn't it be cool to find an old ore car, an old mining car, and put that on display out in front of that mine? We looked for years and years and weren't able to really find any. Lo and behold, our friend up the road from us told us he had 3 and he'd be willing to sell those to us. So the idea was born. We were going to use the old railway spikes as railway spikes. We got a total of 3 mining cars, including the rail, which is smaller rail than the rails used for the trains. And in this video, we're going to focus on the first of the 3 mining cars, the setup of that. And before that, I guess, is the drive out there to our property, which is normally less than 2 hours to get out there. This trip, it took us over 4 hours to get out there. And we do drive along the old rail grade and then down a really steep switchback road to get to our property. We loaded up the mining cars and then wrapped and strapped them in preparation for a long and slow and bumpy drive. This railway was built in the late 1800s, and its purpose was to transport both freight and passengers. The last passenger train, I believe, was in the 1960s, and the last freight transport was in 1988. This rail grade has since become a tourist attraction with lots of different trestles and tunnels throughout. It's used by many people. It is a multi-use trail, and you'll see cyclists, hikers, ATVs, and vehicles along the way. And now we head down and down, and then down some more, and down some more. And there you go. We're at our place. I milled up for the railway ties some cedar into approximately 3x3 or 4x4 dimension to use as the railway ties. The old railway ties that are left on the rail grade aren't the right size, nor are they in very good shape. So then I burnt these cedar railway ties to mimic the look, as well as preserve the wood, which is a technique called shosugiban. We knew we wanted to put this rail car on rocks, so we collected some rocks from the land. Got them as level as possible, with the help of the dogs, of course. We gathered the rails and the spikes and cut them to size. Leveled things up, tidied up, put the spikes in, making sure the rails were the right width apart. And got her into place. And that's it. There's the first mining car done. We were pretty happy with how it turned out. And looking forward to the next one, which is in front of the mine shaft.